Greetings of the day. Today in this session we are going to discuss about company law. Company law, which is enforced in the Company Act 1956. The act which came in force in India as per the Company Act 1956 on 1st April 1956, which is amended day by day as per the change in the situations. The act, which extends to whole of the India and also contain 658 sections with 13 schedules. The objective of the socialistic pattern of the society is covered while framing the Companies Law Act. The Central Government Committee, known as Sastri Committee, enforced and recommended this Indian Company Law Act, whose agenda was to review the Company Act 1956 on the basis of the recommendations timely. Now, what are the objectives of the Act? Objectives: the Act 1956 Company Act enforced with a view to ensure the full disclosure of the information, fair disclosure of the information of the company to the general public. It ensures to promote the effective participation and the control by the shareholders. It must enclose and ensure the full integrity, enforce proper performance of duties by the company management, investigate and intervene in the affairs of the company managed in a way to protect the interest of the shareholders. So these are the objectives of the Company Act. Various documents are required to frame a company, to form a company. Those documents are Memorandum of Association, Article of Association, and Prospectus. A brief introduction of these three documents is as in this way. Memorandum of Association basically is said as the charter of the company, which defines the object of the company, whereas the Article of Association, which defines rules, regulations to govern the internal management. Memorandum of Association is must to prepare and file it, so its drafting is must, whereas Article of Association in case of public company limited by shares may adopt T table schedule as per Schedule A. In case of Memorandum of Association, the constitution of company define its objects and parts, whereas Article of Association defines rules, regulations to govern day-to-day working. Memorandum of Association defines the objects and parts, whereas Article of Association simply lay down the rules, regulations for the internal affair of management. Memorandum of Association, which defines the relation between company and outsider, whereas Article of Association defines within the insiders the relation, that is relation between members and the company. In Memorandum of Association, it is totally dependent on company law, whereas Article of Association is based on Memorandum of Association. Now, let me discuss with you the third document which is required is said as Prospectus. Prospectus, a way to invite the subscription to shares and debentures, a way or a document which describes, issued, which includes any notice, any circular, any advertisement, invites, offers from public for purchase or subscription of shares or either debentures. It is regulated or governed under Section 236. So, it is another third document of the company. If I talk about the prospectus in more detail, then it is of two types, whereas the object of the prospectus is to bring in the notice to the general public that new company has been formed. Not only this, but is to secure that the directors of the company accept the responsibility of the statement in the prospectus. Above all, it ensures the authentic data or the record of the terms of the allotment on which public have been invited for shares or debentures. Now, if I let you know about the two types of prospectus, one is offer document, other is draft offer document. Offer document is the one which means prospectus in case of public issue or offer for the sale or the letter of offer in case of right issue, which is to be filed with registrar of the company or stock exchange. So, it is a document which covers all relevant information to help an investor to make his or her future investment decisions. So, in this way, this is your offer document. Draft offer document. The draft offer document is basically that document which is in draft state, or a document which is filed with SEBI at least for 21 days prior to the commencement of your business. So, this is your prospectus. If I talk about the features about this act, the features are the act, basically the Companies Act 1956, which is applicable to whole of the India and all the type of the companies either registered under the act or in the previous act, right? It empowers the central government to inspect the books of the accounts of company. It ensures the inspection discloses a prima facie of the frauds or the cheatings. It provides the powers, responsibility of the director, manager for raising funds for maintenance or for the audit of the company. I hope it is clear now. Now, let us discuss about the Article of Association. The Article of Association, after all, as I had a discussion with you, that what is it? Now, in this, the Article of Association, after all, why it is must for whom? It is must for unlimited companies, for the companies limited by guarantee, for the private companies limited by shares. So for these companies, the article of association is required. I hope this much is clear to all of you, that why it is the internal source of information, how it discloses the internal information, and to what extent it discloses the internal information, that this article of association. If I talk about the contents of the article which includes share capital, your procedures for issue of share certificate, procedure for transfer of shares, procedure for making the allotment of shares, procedure of call of money, procedure for share warrant, procedure for alteration in the capital, procedure for holding the meetings, procedure for voting rights, winding up till the winding up of the company. Those all the points are included in article of association. No doubt, this article of association needs to be registered. For the registration of the article, table A need to be adopted in full. Wholly exclude the table A. It needs to be printed, divided in paragraphs. It must be signed by the subscribers subscribed to the memorandum of the association as per the section, along with the memorandum as per the section 3, it is required.